I said, do you work? And he goes, do I look like a sucker? I said, well, and he said, what I did is I have a 7-year-old daughter that I get every other weekend. And starting when she is 4, I taught her to play the ukulele and sing. So when she comes to visit on weekends, we go into town and I put her out in the corner and she sings and I collect the money. And I said, is that where child services got involved? He goes, how'd you know? And then we're driving along and there's a big billboard for Dan somebody's running for something, commissioner. And he goes, see that smiley faced asshole? And I said, yeah, I think I voted for that guy. And he says, don't. He sicked his dogs on me 3 different times. So now, adding to the chase are the commissioner and dogs, So the pot store comes up. I pull into the parking lot. And I said, look, I'm going in for some edibles. Do you want to come in with me? And Antonio goes, nah, I better not. And I said, why? And he said, well, I was here for the grand opening that they had, and I helped myself to the free samples. And I said, well, so what? And he said, well, turns out they weren't free or samples, and those Indians chased me. So now, Indians are part of the posse. So I go inside, I use the old man's discount, I get the 4 boxes of edibles I like. I came out to the car, I put 3 in the trunk, and I gave 1 box to Antonio. I said, look, buddy, you need this way more than I do. And so we drive another 10 minutes, we take that second Sequim exit, and we go down a ways where traffic allows, and I pull over. And I said, well, Antonio, you better get out here. So he got out, and the window was open. He leaned in, and he said, Park, I really appreciate the ride and the dope. You did me a real solid. I said, hey, brother, you're a character. You're my tribe. I haven't laughed that hard in a year. And he said, he stuck his fist in, he said, here's to living on the edge, bro. And I swear to God, we bumped fists, and I see this reflection of red light, and I hear the whoop of a siren. And across the street, a cop car is pulled over, and the 2 officers jump out, and the guy that was driving goes, DeMarco, we've been looking all over for you. And he's around, takes off sprinting through this real estate parking lot with the cops after him. And I did what I always did at times like that. I said, thanks, God. This is all I've ever asked of life.